everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be sharing some tips and advice on immigrating. Myself and my husband immigrated from South Africa to Ireland in June of 2021, and there is so much that we have learned during that process, and there's a lot of things that I know now that I kind of wish I had known back then, and I hope that this will be useful to anyone who is thinking of packing up their whole life and setting up somewhere new. So I hope that you enjoy, and let's dive right in. So the first piece of advice I would say is have a very, very clear and meaningful reason why. So immigrating was something that was completely new for both myself and my husband, and I did have a couple of friends who had done this already, but I'd kind of lost touch with them and I didn't know anyone who had moved to Ireland specifically. So, each country has its own unique challenges and all the administrative things. So it is very important to know why you're making the move, because during those times of stress, it's what grounds you when things get overwhelming. The next thing I would say is enter into your new country with a very open mindset. So I think what I did at the beginning was I tried to compare Ireland to South Africa a bit too much, and each country is completely unique in its own right, and no country is perfect in every way. And at the end of the day, I feel that it's just important to know what you're willing to compromise on and what you're not willing to compromise on. So for example, if you are someone who loves tropical sunny weather and gets absolutely miserable in rain and cold, I do not recommend moving to Ireland if that's something that's very important to you. Now, it turns out that I actually prefer cold weather, and it also doesn't rain nearly as much in Ireland as people say it does, but we absolutely love it here in Ireland. So just make a list of things that you feel would be absolutely non-negotiable in terms of lifestyle, and make sure those are very clear, because there will be unique challenges and benefits to wherever you may go. And then the next thing I'll say is adjusting to a new country is difficult, but I would say just be patient with yourself. I think my biggest mistake at the beginning of our journey was that I was so impatient to get everything organized as quickly as possible, and there are so many things that were not in my control, like for example the processing times of immigration stamps. Apart from applying for the correct stamp, there is genuinely not much I can do in terms of how long that process takes, and I really wanted to get everything kind of organized within the first month of me being in Ireland, and the reality is it took about 6 months to get everything completely organized, and I am not the most patient person in the world, so that was a bit of an adjustment. So being patient is one of the most important skills to develop when adjusting to a new country. And also I felt that the move was difficult because at the end of the day, it's kind of a grieving process. You have left your old life behind, and we sold our house that we were living in, which we loved, sold our cars, and I'm quite a sentimental person, so letting go of so much all at once, it was a very difficult thing, and that's completely okay. It's okay for that to be difficult, and it's important to grieve over those things. But then it was also important for me to remember to be very grateful that I had so much in my life, and that I still do. My family are still very much there for me. My friends are there for me, and we've had some friends and family come and visit us in Ireland already so far. So there's loads to be grateful for, and I think that practicing gratitude on a daily basis has also really helped me just realize how fortunate we are to be able to have this opportunity, because not everyone can have this opportunity. And I actively seek out something to be grateful for, and I have found that that's really, really helped me along this journey. And then also there is the element of guilt. So missing out on, special family occasions and things like Christmas can be very hard, and I do sometimes feel guilty about being away from my family during those really special times. But luckily we do have things like video calling and such easy communication, and prioritizing communication plays such an important role, because it's the one thing that allows you to stay close to your loved ones back home. So for example, we will schedule regular video calls and catch-ups with our families and friends. Sometimes, for example, I will go for a walk around my neighborhood, and I'll have my earphones in and I'll call my mom and it'll be like we're going for a walk together. Or you can just set up your laptop and make a cup of coffee and have a nice slice of cake and have a video chat with your friend, and it's like going on a coffee date with your friend. So I try and think of it that way. We are so fortunate that we have the technology these days to do things like video calls and Zoom chats and that kind of thing, and it's amazing that we have this available to us. So make sure to always prioritize regular communication with your family and friends back home. It is really important and it really does mean the world to them as well. And then the last thing I would recommend is save, 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 and save again. So before you make the move, just realize that this is an expensive undertaking. My husband and I had to save for about 2.5 years before we could realistically make this journey possible, because we were moving from South Africa to Ireland and the South African rand is quite weak compared to the euro. So even though we had a lot of savings in rands, which is what we were obviously earning at the time, that disappeared very quickly when it was converted to euros. And additionally, Ireland is a lot more expensive in terms of cost of living compared to South Africa. So our savings were pretty much depleted within the first 3 months of being in Ireland. But it did get better. It's not all doom and gloom when we started working and we started earning an income in euros, and then it's all relative. So I would say Ireland is still a pretty expensive country to live in, but it makes a huge difference now earning euros and paying our bills with now our European income as opposed to our South African income. And there's just a whole bunch of unexpected costs that you never see coming. I tried to plan for every single possibility and there were still loads of things that I didn't account for. So I would definitely say whatever you're planning on saving for immigration, just plan it as much as possible, but always have an additional buffer so that for those unexpected expenses, you have at least a bit of a cushion to land on. So yeah, those are my few bits of advice about immigrating. If you have gone through a similar process and also have some advice to share, I would love to hear from you. So please comment in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.